and check that you understand, and maybe go back and rewind and on all of those sorts of ideas. All right. So here's the first thing to do: jump into nearpod.com, join.nearpod.com, use the code 6PBF3, and you should end up in here. All right. So I can click on the button here, and it will tell me there you all are. All right. So there's AJ and Dev. You're all arriving. Fantastic. Good to see. And if you at all get lost, the code is always here in the top left-hand corner. I can pop it out like that. There it is, 6PBF3. It is also linked in the classroom there. Right, so if you can all join in, that would be awesome. And this is going to be our introduction to IGCSE economics. And a big welcome from me. All right. Now, firstly, you're probably thinking, who is this crazy man talking to us now? So quite probably... No. Quite probably I need to just introduce myself just ever so slightly. And I am Mr. David, as you're probably aware. Now, I'm going to stop sharing and come back into the screen. I am a Kiwi. I am a New Zealander, right, from the country. You know where there's Antarctica at the bottom of the world? Yeah. Well, New Zealand's kind of like one step above that, okay? So if you were to leave New Zealand and go to Antarctica, it's kind of like one step penguins. Yeah, that's what it is. Now, I have a particular way of speaking. Sometimes I speak very quickly, and sometimes people say I have a bit of an accent. I don't hear the accent myself, but I don't know, you might. If you aren't understanding, please ask, right? Ask me to clarify what it is I'm saying. If I'm speaking too quickly, that's okay. I can change. I can speak slower sometimes. Yeah, if need be. All right. New Zealand, you're probably very familiar with New Zealand because there's a whole lot of sheep there. Some of them think they're people. No. Also, it's the land that produces hobbits. You might be familiar with those. Yeah. Okay. All right, team. Now I'm going to be jumping back into the window again. We're going to go back to Nearpod. Here it is. And we're going to introduce you to, ladies and gentlemen, the very first economic concept that you need to know. Wow, straight off the bat, we're going to learn something cool. Here it is, scarcity. There it is, scarcity. Now, I pronounce it scarcity, right? It does kind of look, when you look at the word like scarcity, I tend to think of scarce city or scary city. I don't know if you know any scary cities. What do you think scarcity means? All right, so type in an answer you think scarcity means, and then we'll have a wee chat about what scarcity means. What you go. You might know already exactly what it means. Got an answer already. Fantastic. Well done, Nazrin. Nazrin. Good. Oh, okay, Dave. Well done. All right, let's go. See what you can come up with. Oh, yep, Daniel. All right, good. Oh, yes, that's a good idea. Some good answers. God, you guys are rock stars. Low on supplies. Okay. Low on supply. Yeah, we seem to be thinking about low on supply for a number of you. That's good. You've got good answers. Scarcity of trees down south. Okay. Short supply, less sufficient. Less insufficient. Okay. And a shortage of supplies. All right. Okay. Now, there's an expression that we used to use, and it's a very New Zealand expression. Apologies that I use these sorts of New Zealand expressions, but the expression was that something was that there was something as scarce as hen's teeth. As scarce as hen's teeth. What do you think that expression means? Good man. Very scarce. What do you think?
Could you repeat it, please?
as scarce as hen's teeth? Got one good answer already. We've got any others? No. Yeah, okay. Good work, Dev. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with AJ too. All right. Absolutely. Well done. Yes. All right. If something is as scarce as hen's teeth, hens, chickens, right? They don't have teeth. So if something is as scarce as hen's teeth, then there isn't any of it, right? So we were absolutely right when we were discussing the concept of scarcity, is that there's not enough of it. There is a shortage of supply of it, right? Now, you may not experience much scarcity yourselves. Maybe you do, okay? Maybe, you see it out there in the world quite clearly. But how about this? Let's think about things that you might have. So, time. How many of you have enough time in the day to do everything that you need to do and want to do? Okay, we've got one says they do. There is. Kind of. I think you're going to find as your IGCSE work becomes more complicated, you might start struggling a bit with the time. Hopefully not too much though. Yeah. About skills. Do you have enough skills to do everything that you want to do and need to do? Oh, that's very quick. Not yet. A little bit. Wow. There we go. Yeah, we find that all the time, don't we? We keep being given tasks and we need to learn how to do the task, how to answer it. So we're learning those skills, which means we don't actually have those skills at that particular point in time. There might be some things that you just can't do at all. That's possible, yeah? Might be some things that take a long time to be able to do. What about, dare I ask, money? How about this one? Do you have enough money to get everything that you need and want? What do you think? Not really. No. Okay, no. Well done, team. All right. Then let's have a wee think then about what that means. No money, but I have the stuff I need. Oh, good man. All right, let's have a look at what that means in terms of economics. All right, so in economics, we're actually studying us, people, society, right? We're thinking about how we relate and the decisions that we make as people with regards to the scarce resources that we have, right? So the time, the money, the skills that we have, how do we use them? And is there a better way to use them? Okay, I don't know if you've had those sorts of conversations with people about, oh, maybe we could spend the money in a different way and get a better outcome. Maybe we could spend our time in a different way and achieve something different. Maybe mum and dad have said something to you about how you spend your time and whether you should spend more of your time studying or whether you should spend more of your time sleeping, yeah, because you're not getting enough rest. So, therefore, when we're thinking about economics, things that we can think about is the individuals, us, as households and businesses, firms meaning businesses, and what decisions that they make with regards to the scarce resources that they have, right? How they all interact, and they're going to interact in markets, which we're going to cover in a bit, right? Or we could consider the operation of an economy as a whole, all of those decisions, right? Sort of at the government levels, how everything interacts with everything else. And that's a really big study, right? So we can do a really small study on individuals, or we can do really big study on the entire economy. So when we're doing those, we're thinking about two different types of economic study. So here's an activity for you. It's called fill in the blanks. So all you have to do is move the words into the space where you think they best fit. All right, have a go. You've got about 30 odd seconds to have a go. So you just move the words into the spaces where you think they best fit. All right, it does take a little bit of time. We're going to try and work out where the words go. Well, got some scores coming in already, looking good. And I'm trying to move the words to complete the sentences. Well done, Dev, well done. Here we go, good. All right, don't worry if you're struggling a bit with some of the words, fitting them in, that's okay. We're all just learning at this point. Important point is to have a go at it. Waiting on a couple more to have a go. There we go, good scores coming out, well done. One or two more, let's wait a couple more seconds. Okay, that's all right. Okay, remember the important thing is to have a go and see how you get on. This is the whole learning part. So economics studied at varying levels. So we're going to firstly, the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to study our individual decisions, the decisions we make, right? When you go to the shop and you decide to choose one product, well, why did you choose that product? Why not the other one? Okay. We're going to look at households. Why did the household buy this product and not that product? Then we're going to look at firms or businesses. And we're going to talk about the individual businesses and why they've made the decisions that they have made. Why are they producing those and not the other things? Yeah. Right. Why did they choose to price the product the way they priced it? We're also going to be thinking not only about households and firms, but we're also going to be talking about the entire economy. So we're going to have a look at all of the activities, all of the decisions that are made in every single market all the way through the economy. And that's, you're going to make a few assumptions as we go, right, with regards to that. But that's something that's quite huge, quite big. So we're going to be looking at the small decisions that get made within an economy and the big decisions that get made in an economy. All of them dealing with the scarce resources. So that first concept is micro or small. So it is microeconomics, the study of those individual decisions that we make, right? Whether that's in our house or whether that's the business that we work for or the business that we buy products from, how are they making the decisions that they make, all right? And they're obviously making them in markets, which we're going to talk about later, okay? And it's all about how we make those decisions. We're thinking about the individual behaviors of the households and the firms with regards to the scarce resources that they have. You've got only a limited amount of money, so you have to make decisions about what products to buy. Well, there's some decision-making process that goes on there. So it is the economics of one, or the economics of small decisions. And we tend to use the term microeconomics to describe that. So let's have a go. Again, another close exercise. Here we go, filling in the gaps. This one will be microeconomics. Have a go. Remember, you're just moving the words into the sentences, trying to see how they best fit. There we go. Good work, team.
Hello, Father.
So, yeah.
I'm doing paper stuff, which is ripping paper. And I like it.
All right, keep going, team. Got a couple more to have a go. All right, some good scores coming through. Well done, team. So another couple more to go. Okay, so we will move on from there. All right, so just a quick review. So we're talking about microeconomics, and we're talking about the study of individual households and firms, how they're going to interact within markets, how individuals make decisions. So it's the economics of one, or the economics of small decisions, individual decisions. All right, now, because we've dealt with the small, now we're going to deal with the big. So this is going to be macroeconomics. All right? And as I said to you before, it is going to be the study of the entire economy. So all of those big decisions that get made. All right? So government policies, all of that sort of idea. So it includes some quite scary concepts like inflation, unemployment, and economic growth. Those are some big concepts that are dealing with the entire economy and all of the people within it. So it is a study of the entire system of entire systems of economies and the choices that get made. So it's talking about what's called aggregate outcomes, or, you know, aggregate's a fancy word for total. It's also a word for concrete for some reason. So macroeconomics, the study of the big decisions that get made, economy-wide phenomenon. All right? Right, so let's have a look at that one. And here's your quick flash revision. It is a fill-in-the-gaps exercise. And you've got about 30-odd seconds for macroeconomics. Try and put the words into the sentences so that they make sense. There you go.
That's half a minute. What?
You've got a session now, son.
Is it?
Yes. Live marking.
Yeah.
Get your maths. Your teacher's wanting you to go through the marking of your maths.
Yeah, they want to walk on.
Okay. All right, well done, Nazrin. Run, well done. You wait for a few more to come in. Good work. Couple more seconds. Here we go. One team. All right. Last couple. All right, okay. Macroeconomics, the study of economy-wide phenomenon, including inflation, unemployment, and economic growth. It's the study of entire systems of economics and the choices that are made. It is considering aggregate outcomes. All right, team, now, here's where we have the situation, right? We had this idea of scarcity, where we said there was not enough. And in different parts of the world, there's going to be more scarcity than others. And you've probably seen that, right, through your geography classes, your humanities classes, etc. How some parts of the world, they struggle with scarcity of just basic goods and services that they might need. Other parts of the world seem to have a huge abundance or a large amount of goods and services, but they may have a scarcity of other things. You know? So what we're going to say here is that because of the amount of things that we want, because of the limited resources that we all have, we all face this idea of scarcity. Scarcity, therefore, is like a major theme of economics. And a lot of the problems that that creates need policies and decisions made in order to try to fix the scarcity issue. So how do we fix it? Well, maybe we can grow our economy. Maybe we can have more jobs, more growth, more income, right? People can go out and buy more goods and services that way. That sounds a really good thing to do. Maybe we could improve the use of the resources that we currently have. So that's about what's called productivity. We could make the goods, the resources that we have better at the jobs that they do. And then we're able to have more goods and services around us. Or, and this is the scary one, we could just reduce people's expectations. We could say, yeah, we know that's what you want, but you're not going to be able to get it. So maybe just, settle with what you've got. Right? Now, there are, as you see, a whole lot of problems with all of these. And you're going to have governments who say we can grow the economy. We're going to have governments who say we want to improve productivity. There might be governments who say, look, you just can't do this. I'm sorry. Right? Just reduce your expectations. Scarcity is a major theme of all of economics. And it's one that governments are going to have to work their way through everywhere. I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to jump back to the meat. Here we are. Now, we might have everything we need. We might. But chances are there's going to be a lot of things that we want. Yeah? And of those things that we want, maybe we can't get all of those things. Right, now, your activity that I have set you in the classroom, let me jump into the classroom. Here it is. All right, it's this one here. It's about wants and needs, okay? So all you need to do, all right, so to review some of these ideas, is to, in this table here, write 10 things that you want. They can be anything, right? 10 things that you want. That's all. Okay? Then you need to consider the following questions. What happens if you are told that you need to write 100 things you want, for about 1,000. Can you figure them out? And how about this? What happens when you get older? Do you want the same things? So then you're going to add in 5 things that your parents, right? Okay, anything. Then you're going to do this. You're going to then say, are they the same things you want? Why not? All right. So that's what I want you to do. Oh, I don't like the format. Let's change that. Sorry, I have my own particular font. I like it. Okay. So that's what I want you to do. And if possible, for the rest of this session today, if you can work on this, if you're not sure about any of it, right, I'll leave the meet open. Okay, so I'll leave the meet open, but I'll have the camera off and the mic off, so you can jump back into the meet and ask me any questions about what we've covered, or you can just work through that worksheet and submit it, and that will be it. All right. And then we're going to pick up again here tomorrow. We're going to go back into the Nearpod and explore more of this idea about scarcity, all right, and what that actually means for economies and what that means for us and the decisions that we have to make. All right. Otherwise, what we say in the land of my birth is hei kone rā, which means goodbye for now, so we can actually shut off the meet. But if you have a question, you can stay on the meet, or as you do the worksheet, you can jump back into the meet and ask me a question then, or you can send me an email. Any of those options are possible. Plus, I'm going to put the recordings on the session today up into the classroom. All right, so have a fantastic day, and I will catch you tomorrow if I don't hear from you sooner.
Good day.
Mr. David,
Have a good day.
Thank you, you too.
the questions
Bye.
aren't on the doc.
Yep, okay, you can ask a question, Bev.
The questions are not on the doc.
The questions are not on the doc.
Yeah.
They're not there now. Let's try.
Yeah. I think it's because it made a copy for us.
Ah, okay, let me open it again. Well, when I open it, it appears. Okay. All right, what I'll do is I'll copy the questions in and I will post them onto the string. All right, and I'll post that there. So now I've posted the questions into the meet, into the classroom string. All right, so they're there. So you could just copy them into the doc. Okay, does that make sense?
Thank you. Yeah. Bye.
Right, I need to stop recording.